After a storm in Argentina, Adventist Food Company employees deliver kits of food and warm clothing to affected families. In the mountains of Bulgaria, a Pathfinder Club celebrates 30 years. In Egypt, a camp engages hundreds of children and youth with sports, music, and outdoor challenges. And an ADRA project distributes 5,000 backpacks and helps reduce school dropout rates in Romania. Now here on ANN. "5,000 backpacks, 5,000 opportunities." The Start at School project by ADRA Romania has equipped over 5,000 vulnerable children with the necessary materials for the start of classes, an important step towards reducing school dropout rates and strengthening the future of education.
In Romania, in Eastern Europe, solidarity turned the beginning of the school year into a reason for joy and hope for thousands of students. With a donation valued at 150,000 euros, 5,000 backpacks were equipped with essential school supplies. The number sets a record in the history of ADRA Romania. Between 2005 and 2024, just over 5,600 children received support in educational projects from the institution. Now, in just one school year, almost the same total was benefited. The backpacks contain notebooks, pencils, pens, erasers, and other basic items, all to ensure that students have dignified conditions to learn. ADRA Romania emphasizes that the result was only possible thanks to the unity of partners and volunteers. The Start at School project reinforces the idea that investing in education is investing in stronger communities and a fairer society. Since 1990, ADRA Romania has been developing social and educational projects throughout the country. The Adventist Humanitarian Agency is recognized as an accredited provider of social services and is part of a humanitarian network present in over 100 countries.
The third Pathfinder Camporee of Egypt brought together about 260 young people for 4 days of adventures, challenges, and learning. The event was held on the campus of the Nile Union Academy.
The theme of this year, Heroes, highlighted values such as courage, perseverance, and teamwork. During the program, Pathfinders were invited to reflect on the differences between popular heroes of modernity and those who, in the past, were recognized as examples of courage and dedication. Organizing the event was not simple. The team from Egypt managed to overcome challenges and keep all activities within the schedule, supported by volunteers from Brazil. Throughout the camporee, the youth engaged in creative challenges, group dynamics, and activities adapted to the local geography and climate. The closing raised expectations for the next gathering. Camporee 2026, with the theme Crossing the Waters, promises to be even bigger, bringing together more participants and expanding the program. The third National Camporee of Egypt showed that it is possible to gather children and youth to learn, have fun, and create lasting memories together. Above all, the event revealed that, just like in the past, modern heroes continue to be alive, now with faces, names, and stories coming from the Middle East.
Foz do Iguaçu in southern Brazil, known worldwide for its impressive waterfalls, has also become a setting for decisions that go beyond the city limits. It was there that the Seventh-day Adventist Church outlined the strategic planning that will guide its actions in the next 5 years.
During 6 days, administrators and directors of the Seventh-day Adventist Church gathered to consolidate another stage of the integrated strategic planning. The process is collaborative and involves leadership from the South American division to local congregations. The plan aims to define priorities for the coming years, with a direct impact on areas such as identity, leadership, discipleship, and new generations. Each front should have precise goals, objectives, and indicators to monitor results and adjust actions according to the reality of each region. Another highlight of the process is mentoring. Department directors will also act as mentors, overseeing the execution of the plan at all administrative levels. The idea is to ensure alignment, efficiency, and participation of local churches. According to the organizers, the expectation is that the model will be implemented by the end of 2025. From there, it will be possible to adapt the strategies as early as 2026, according to regional contexts. The proposal is to unite efforts and strengthen the mission of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in more than 30,000 congregations spread throughout South America.
In the United States, Adventist World Aviation, a ministry that supports the Seventh-day Adventist Church, offers free air transportation for cancer patients. Through this, they're able to reach treatments that would otherwise be nearly impossible to access. And thanks to the dedication of pilots, volunteers, and supporters, they are not just flying planes, but renewing hope for many people.
The AWA headquarters in Wilson, North Carolina, serves as the central hub for a network of operations dedicated to humanitarian aid across the region, from coordinating disaster relief efforts, such as their swift response to Hurricane Helene, to transporting critical resources and providing rides for cancer patients seeking treatment. AWA's work spans a wide range of essential services. Each mission reflects a commitment to compassion, offering tangible support and hope to individuals facing hardship.
Hi, my name is Jarrett Moss. I'm the chief pilot here at Adventist World Aviation. We're in beautiful Wilson, North Carolina, and behind me is the Cessna 182 that we're going to use today
for an Angel Wings flight. An Angel Wings flight
is where we move a patient that may not be critically injured, but we move a patient that may need to go to treatment, and they may not be able to afford getting to this place without us. It could be a great distance away, and that's why they need to go by air, or they may have travel concerns where going by car would be a problem for them. Today, we are going to go pick up a brain cancer patient. We're actually meeting another pilot in Charleston, West Virginia, where we'll pick up the patient and we'll bring them back to RDU to discuss cancer treatment options with their doctor, and we will return back to RDU on Thursday to pick them back up and return them back to Charleston, West Virginia, where another pilot will meet us to take them back home.
Despite unexpected complications along the way, the mission to transport the patient and pilot Jarrett was successfully completed thanks to the swift coordination and dedication of the Lifeline pilots. What began as a routine operation soon presented unforeseen challenges, but through God's providence and the team's professionalism, a safe outcome was ensured for everyone involved. This successful effort highlights not only the critical role of medical transport services, but also the power of collaboration, empathy, and preparedness in facing complex and high-stakes situations. For AWA, each challenge is an opportunity to turn care into action and reaffirm its commitment to bringing hope to those who need it most.
In Argentina, a strong storm left dozens of families in a state of emergency. The Adventist food factory, Granix, mobilized its own employees to provide assistance and solidarity.
Severe storms hit Campana, a city in Buenos Aires, Argentina, leaving dozens of families in critical situations, without power, resources, or food. At the headquarters of Granix, a Seventh-day Adventist factory of natural foods in the region, the response was immediate.
We, the team from Florida, Argentina, are putting together care packages to support the people of Campana affected by the floods. While we can't be there in person, this is our way of helping.
The workers interrupted their routine to assemble emergency kits with essential foods such as grains, cookies, and crackers.
The bag contains 4 delicious cookies, 4 crunchy crackers, and 2 packs of cereal. Some families will get a bit more cereal and a bit fewer cookies. But overall, this ensures that at least one family can enjoy our products for a few days. We plan to make about 300 bags, with each bag containing around 17 pounds of products. We've already reached over 300, and the merchandise we set aside for this ran out in less than 20 minutes.
In total, there were 630 packages, all produced right there. Volunteers from different areas participated, from administration, production, to the warehouse. A quick, efficient, and voluntary mobilization. In the second phase, winter kits arrived: hats, gloves, scarves, and socks. Essential pieces to face the low temperatures of the harsh cold in Argentina. The deliveries took place in Campana, which was one of the most affected regions. Employees from the local unit of Granix personally went to the vulnerable neighborhoods. They distributed the kits from house to house. Granix has been operating for over 90 years in Argentina. Like other Adventist institutions around the world, it promotes social actions based on compassion, service, and respect for human dignity. According to the organizing team, the Solidarity campaign reinforces the principle of caring for others. New solidarity actions are being planned.
In Peru, a basketball final was rescheduled because a team refused to play on the Sabbath. Adventist students from Tacna won the 2025 school championship, a victory marked by courage and national visibility.
The basketball team of the Seventh-day Adventist Educational Institution, 28th of July, starred in a story of faithfulness. The final of the school sports games was scheduled for a Saturday, a day of rest observed by Seventh-day Adventists in obedience to the fourth biblical commandment. Without hesitation, the team decided not to take the court, placing their principles above any sporting result. The decision sparked controversy and opened a debate about religious freedom in the country's school sports. With the support of teachers, parents, and local authorities, the game was rescheduled for the following Thursday. On the court, emotions ran high from start to finish. The Adventist institution team defeated the traditional champion 44-42, breaking a 3-year winning streak. The victory brought the school to the top of the podium and became an example that values and convictions are non-negotiable. More than just a sports title, the victory was seen as a lesson in courage and faithfulness for the entire community. For these young people, winning the championship was important, but remaining faithful was the true achievement.
On the island of Mindoro, in the Philippines, a special week brought together children and adults in activities that strengthened the community. Volunteers from other countries contributed to the program.
During a week, teams of volunteers divided themselves to carry out activities in different parts of the island. While young people worked in the east, another group was in the west, in fishing villages and rice farmers. The simplicity of the community contrasted with the warm reception of the residents. The number of children was surprising. From 25 on the first night, the group grew to almost 70 at the last meeting. Many arrived barefoot after a whole day with only one meal, but all sang with great joy, participated in games, and learned about the Bible. The adults also actively participated. Music brought cultures together, with a highlight on the sound of the saxophone, an uncommon instrument in the region. At the end of the week, the small local church was packed, gathering dozens of children and whole families. More than the activities, what remained was the hope that friendship and shared experiences will continue to strengthen the community of Mindoro.
In Bulgaria, the Pathfinder Club celebrated 30 years of history. The anniversary was marked by a large national campout that brought together hundreds of people in the Rhodope Mountains.
In the mountains of Bulgaria, they arrived excited. They set up tents, organized spaces, turned nature into a great collective home for pathfinders from all regions of Bulgaria. It was days of friendship, workshops, games, music, and celebrations. In a country marked by secularism, like Bulgaria, Pathfinder clubs offer a valuable space for young people to exercise spiritual values with joy and purpose. Over 400 people participated in the celebration of the 30 years of Pathfinders Club in the country. The celebration camp had the theme, Choose Your Path. It presented the biblical story of Joseph, with thematic activities that helped young people reflect on faith, resilience, and crucial life choices. adolescents between 11 and 15 years old participated in practical challenges full of adventures, workshops, and spiritual moments. On Friday, more than 30 teenagers made the official commitment as new Pathfinders. The ceremony was marked by the presence of former leaders and Pathfinders who were moved to see new generations following the same path. During the event, badges were awarded to those who completed challenges, as well as contests, and a visit to a museum with the history of the movement in Bulgaria. On Sabbath, Pathfinders from different eras shared personal experiences, showing how being a Pathfinder made a difference in their lives over these 3 decades. The program also included the Scoutmaster competition, which tested camping skills such as first aid, fire building, plant identification, and biblical knowledge. Among the highlights, a game created by a young Pathfinder sought to tell interactive biblical stories and connect clubs from around the world. Founded in 1995 in Bulgaria, the club is now part of a global network with nearly 2 million members. The anniversary ended in celebration, with cake, music, memories, and plans for the future. Over the years, the Pathfinder Club in Bulgaria has been forming new generations of leaders with strong bonds of friendship who make a difference in the communities where they live.
While headlines show wars, political collapses, and an increasingly divided society, stories of transformation are gaining strength around the world. In remote communities, messages of hope and faith transmitted through radio have changed destinies. You will now see 2 real stories in 2 minutes: the courageous decision of a pastor in Papua New Guinea and the journey of a young couple in Ukraine. They tuned in to an Adventist radio and their lives were never the same.
Meet Evgenika, a 21-year-old woman from war-torn Ukraine. Amid constant bombing, no electricity, and the scarcity of food, she was filled with an unexpected peace. 2 years prior, in a town near Kiev, she met Ilya, a young AWR evangelist. Through his friendship and AWR's Voice of Hope radio, she developed a new faith in God that sustained her through the enemy's invasion. After Ilya helped her to flee the war zone, she attended Pastor Dwayne McKee's evangelistic meeting and made the decision to be baptized into the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Evgenika and Ilya married and are building their life together as broadcasters, sharing the 3 angels' messages for AWR's Voice of Hope radio across Ukraine. Meet Pastor Stephen, a seasoned pastor from the Jawaka Christian Outreach Center in Papua New Guinea. Let's hear his story in his own words.
My name is Pastor Stephen Miniji from Jawaka, Papua New Guinea. I had been worshiping at the Sunday church called COC. I went to this church for almost 22 years. I recently learned that the Sabbath truth in God's law still stands. But many times we pastors of Sunday churches hide this truth. Just yesterday, I converted and baptized and joined the Seventh-day Adventist Church. I changed my church signboard to Seventh-day Adventist Church. I made this decision because God will judge me. I am appealing to all my fellow Sunday pastors like me. Please, we need to tell the truth to all our Sunday churches and our fellow Christians. Their lives are very important, so they all can be saved into the kingdom of God.
In the South Pacific, various initiatives. In the Solomon Islands, youth are facing the health crisis and leaders are committing to protecting children.
In Australia, the headquarters of the South Pacific Division of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, leaders reaffirmed their commitment to protecting children and vulnerable individuals. They signed a statement adopting the National Child Safety Principles. The goal is to ensure that churches, schools, and institutions are safe and welcoming spaces. The division president, Pastor Glenn Townend, emphasized that this measure strengthens a culture of care and responsibility throughout the region. Meanwhile, in the Solomon Islands, chronic disease crisis, more than 40 members of the Burns Creek Church participated in a community screening. The results are alarming. 1 in 3 at risk of hypertension, 1 in 4 vulnerable to diabetes, and 1 in 10 on the verge of facing a heart attack or stroke in the coming years. The mobilization was led by young people from the 10,000 Toes Project, an initiative that operates throughout Oceania to combat non-communicable diseases. They identified risks and are already preparing nutrition and lifestyle programs to support the most vulnerable. 2 initiatives with the same purpose: to protect lives. From caring for children to promoting health, the commitment of the South Pacific is to serve communities with faith, responsibility, and hope.
Young college students from the United States leave their academic routine to serve at Christian camps during their vacations. What they find goes beyond just work.
In the backstage of Christian camps, young people take on the mission of serving. They are students from Southern Adventist University in the United States. Over 300 university students exchange their vacations for a different experience. They work as counselors, leaders, mentors. They welcome children, listen to stories, and teach values. They leave the laboratories, research, and classrooms to serve. They exchange the whiteboard for the dirt floor. Theory gives way to listening, living together, caring. They experience moments of faith in the midst of nature. They share experiences that leave a mark on the young participants who arrive there and also on themselves. Far from the university routine, many rediscover spirituality. They rediscover purpose. They understand that serving transforms. And when they return to campus, they carry this change with them. The scene returns to research, projects, and study. But faith remains alive, built in practice. In a generation in search of meaning, these young people choose to stop, listen, and act. The result? A redefinition of the future, with their hearts in service.
Let's now get to the story of Lucky, an 11-year-old boy from Zimbabwe. In this animated drawing, we will see how even in the face of conflicts at home, he shows courage and ends up also transforming his mother's life.
11-year-old Lucky didn't go to church in Zimbabwe. No one in his family went to church. One day, though, some friends invited him to go to church with them on Sabbath. Lucky went with them to the Seventh-day Adventist Church. He liked it so much that he invited his mom to go with him. Lucky's mom went with him to church, but she didn't like it very much. At church, people worship God, but Lucky's mom worshiped her ancestors like many people in Zimbabwe. Even though they were dead, she thought she could talk to them. During the sermon, she whispered to Lucky, "Do people in this church disagree with my beliefs?" "Yes, they do," Lucky whispered back. His mom didn't say anything more until they got home. Then she yelled at Lucky. She yelled at Lucky every day for the next few days. Then she fell silent and refused to talk to him. Lucky kept going to church. After 3 months, Lucky's mom broke her silence. "You're not allowed to leave the house on Saturday mornings," she said. Lucky's mom made sure he didn't go to church. She locked him in his bedroom and only opened the door after church was over. When Lucky's mom saw that he still believed in God, she decided that something must be wrong with him. She didn't understand why he didn't want to worship ancestors like her. She asked a traditional healer who also worshiped ancestors to come to the house to see what was wrong with Lucky. But Lucky didn't want to talk to the traditional healer. He ran to the bathroom and locked the door. Lucky's mom came to the door and yelled, "Why are you refusing to talk to the healer to find out what is wrong with you?" From behind the door, Lucky explained that the Bible teaches that people cannot talk to their dead ancestors. When people die, they cannot hear or talk because they are sleeping, he said. Why do you want to force me to do something that I'm not comfortable with? Lucky spent the night in the bathroom. Early in the morning, he opened the door and crept back to his room. Crawling under a blanket, he fell asleep. But when his mom woke up and saw him in bed, she yelled, "Why are you in my house since you are a Christian? Go to the Christians and stay with them." The two didn't speak to each other for the rest of the day. The next day, Lucky promised that he would stop going to church. He was tired of fighting. Lucky kept his promise for a year, but friends kept inviting him to go to church, and finally, he went. He didn't tell his mom. Several years passed, and Lucky graduated from 8th grade. One of his friends planned to go to an Adventist high school, and he also wanted to go there. He asked his mom for permission. Lucky's mom wasn't sure this was a good idea, but Lucky convinced her that the Adventist school had better teachers. Only a month into the school year, Lucky gave his heart to God and got baptized. His mom was initially upset, but after a while, she calmed down. Then something amazing happened. His mom became interested in God. Lucky brought home a Bible from school, and they began to read it together. Then he invited her to go with him to church again. Lucky's mom accepted his invitation, and now she goes to church with him every Sabbath. Lucky is praying that she will give her heart to God. Lucky shared his love for God with his mom through a Bible he borrowed from an Adventist school in Bulawayo, Zimbabwe. Your 13th Sabbath offering this quarter may help other children also share God with their parents. Part of the offering will be used to give Adventurers Bibles to children in Zimbabwe and in the other countries of Southern Africa. Thank you for planning a generous offering.
ANN ends here, but we will be back next week with more inspiring stories from around the world. Learn more about the Seventh-day Adventist Church at adventist.org and follow the news at adventist.news. Until next time.